This video is just a bunch of observations of mine of the entire Manosphere as a whole. But y'all know I love to make fun of some of you MGTOW dudes and some of you alpha male bros out there. All right. Before we get started, I just wanted to be clear that whenever I put MGTOW in the title, that's just kind of like the clickbait. Whenever you put MGTOW in there, you're guaranteed to get the eyes of more young men that need to hear some of my thoughts so they can apply it in their world. However, I always come with a disclaimer. With anytime I say MGTOW, I come with the disclaimer. Whenever you talk to the MGTOW community, you are either talking to the future cream of the crop or weirdos. There seems to be no in between, right? When you're talking to the good guys, the good MGTOW representatives, these are the young men that say, hey, something ain't right. Let me step back from this dating world. Let me learn a bunch of stuff and apply it in my life to make me a better man. Let me find happiness within myself. So whenever I'm talking to that good shit, I know what y'all on. Dap up, fist bump, high five. We're on the same team. Now, when you're talking about the MGTOW community, there's the bottom feeders. There's the weirdos that just align themselves with the community. When I'm speaking broadly to the world, they're taking things personally. So if you get offended by some random dude at the park sitting on his ass talking to his phone, who's the sensitive one? With that being said, one of the biggest observations I've noticed on the bad side of the MGTOW community and the Manosphere and the alpha male channels is the victimization. You know, I've said this in many of the videos. Men love to get online and argue about how women don't take accountability. But someone left a comment, like, it's not really shade, but it is a teachable moment, you know, where I can't lie. Like, it irritated me reading the comment because it was just full of victimhood, and validating the victimhood, you know. I was talking about how a lot of guys are misguided by these Manosphere dudes out here. They're teaching you how to be pickup artists. They're teaching you how to adopt their old bitter uncle mentalities. And I just come as a regular dude to say, hey, yo, like, he has some points, but like, yo, fam, this dude is bitter as fuck. And some of y'all are too young to see how bitter he is, but trust me, as someone that is healed, I could tell from someone that isn't, you know? So someone left a comment, and it was a long essay. So with their essay, I replied to them in an essay, and then they gave up. I'm not trying to throw too much shade on you if you did happen to subscribe to my channel, bro, but like, hey, we need to address that victimhood mentality because you said yourself you're a content creator for the Manosphere and you're talking like that. I stand against you in that position, you know? This dude's talking about how, 50% of online dating or 50% of dating or couples created today is online. Okay, be the other 50%. Y'all, some of y'all will talk so much shit about me, but I have a girlfriend. I'm not the same age as you, but single. I'm the same age as you, but have a girlfriend. What did I do? As a man, I approached her in real life. Now, once again, get in where you fit in. If you good with sliding in the DMs, play that game. If you nasty on the dating apps, play that game. I'm just saying you can't validate being single because 50% of the competition's online. These same people that are dating online are in real life. You walk up to them with some confidence. You walk up to them with some humbleness and humility, and then they're going to give you the time of day. If you acting right, if you come correct. Gave me another statistic. I think it was like 5 to 14% of liberal women, only 5 to 14% of liberal women see like the building a family and living in the household, whatever, something like that, as like, a top goal, top priority. Okay, well, change where you're fishing, bro. Like, why you like trying to catch minnows and stuff and you deep sea fishing? You're in the wrong place. Like, 5 to 14% of liberals. Well, first of all, I mean, I'm not really all that political, but a lot of liberals seem to be very misguided just from their representations online. Why do you want the people that don't want you? Why do you want the people that don't want you? You know what I'm saying? Like, one of the things I realized is like we got into this culture where, okay, you have to come with facts, come with sources. But then when you're using these facts and sources and statistics to validate your failure, that's just going to keep you complacent. And then you have the nerve to be a content creator and you're telling men these facts, especially young, impressionable men. I have a problem with that. The last one that I remember is like, I was saying how, He mixed two of my thoughts, but nevertheless, what he said was like the vast majority, for every one rich person, there's 100 poor ones. And I was like, oh, here we go, more victimhood shit. And then he said, once again, another statistic I forgot, but most young men have like an average salary of $48,000 per year. And he's like, you're just telling them to go out there and get more money. You can't just make money. That's not how it works. What? So wait, you're not making enough money. You're mad and you're clearly insecure about your financial position. Okay, let me ask you a question. Young men, anyone that is not financially secure, anyone that's not physically secure, like you too scared to take your shirt off at the pool. You know what I'm saying? Let me ask you a question. Did you do everything in your power? Did you do everything in your power to fix your situation? Yeah, I did. I work hard, bro. No. I'm gonna calm you down. Did you do everything you could do? Yeah, I did everything. Something I've learned with law. If you have done everything, you get remedy. Remedy is the cure to your solution. Basically, you found your solution and now you're applying it in your life. So if you're not making as much money, have you applied for a job that pays more? Oh, well, I can't get a job. I'm not qualified. Okay, so all these free resources online, free resources. YouTube is a treasure trove of information. And you mean to tell me that you couldn't go find some free certifications? You couldn't like scrape off or save $100 to go get the actual certification for something? You know what I mean? Like, you did everything. Yeah, I've been working out forever, man. I'm just still fat. Okay, so you've done everything, right? So you tried fasting, intermittent fasting. Well, I get hungry and I get dizzy and I'm diabetic. So did you try the supplementation? Did you get on a routine, a regimen? Did you go seek the professional assistance? No. So stop getting out here finding statistics that benefit your failure. Sorry. You know, I'm the asshole for saying that you failed. Did you walk up to that girl and she said no? You failed. You failed. Did I try to say a word and I stuttered? I failed saying a word. Why are you getting so sensitive when someone calls you on your behavior? The individual in question left me this long ass essay. I went point by point, and then the rebuttal was, well, I don't think you should be breaking people down. We should be helping one another. I am helping, dickhead. Clearly too many of y'all have been coddled. You either been coddled throughout life, or you put yourself in this little bubble, a cave of self. Oh, woe is me. Oh, no girls will like me, and because these girls don't like me, I'm part of MGTOW, and they're all three of. Oh, that was the other statistic. 1 in 5 women graduating high school these days all have OnlyFans. First of all, you're showing your. Well, he said we're near the same age, so that's kind of wild to me. Why do you care about girls that just graduated high school if we're the same age? I'm 31. So with you saying you're 31, you're worried about the statistics of high school girls? Maybe I'm misinterpreting that, but nevertheless, it's like, but I'm just gonna assume that the person's younger. Okay, it's like every girl has an OnlyFans. Where do y'all meet these girls? Are you like all in like LA or some shit? Are you all in like Florida or Miami? All these girls have OnlyFans? Like, I'm sorry, like sometimes statistics can be misleading as well, because like I just be walking around, any girl I meet, I know she ain't got no damn OnlyFans. Even girls I met in the past, none of them have OnlyFans. How are y'all running into so many women with OnlyFans accounts? It's weird. And even then, like let's just say 1 in 5. So that means you're focusing on the 1 in 5? So the 4 out of the 5. You're not focused on. That's that negative mentality I was talking about in that video. I believe you said 1 in 5. If I'm getting the numbers mixed up, so be it. But nevertheless, it's just like 1 in 5. Let's just go with that number and roll with it. If I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. But like 1 in 5 women have an OnlyFans. Okay, so that means 4 out of 5 don't. You just showed your victimhood mindset. 1 in 5, and that's all oh my God, there's so many out here. Look at that one over there. There's 4 behind you. But I'm the dickhead. I'm the asshole. I don't know what I'm talking about. You're using all these statistics to validate your failure. You're using it to validate yourself so you can stay complacent and keep bitching online about it. You're a content creator and you have this in your mind? Do you not see why I speak out against these people? I'm not saying I'm perfect. You know what I'm saying? I'm weird. I'm borderline autistic. So there's certain things that just don't like make sense to me anyway. You know, but like even and my mom is a trained like mental health counselor. So like she told me that I have some traits. You feel me? But like nevertheless though, it's like, but tell me where I'm wrong. Y'all will focus on everything that validates your position. And most of y'all's position isn't a good one. Well, it's hard out here for men. 1 in 5 men, 4 in 5 men. Men are always losing court. Men always lose custody battles. Do you have any kids? Well, no. Then why the fuck are you even bringing up that statistic? You 22 years old talking about women win custody battles. Like, you're literally taking the advice from all these hurt uncles and applying it in your young person's life. Does that make sense? Make sure you don't make the same mistake of them. If like what in the words of the great prophet Kanye West, you say, holla, if you ain't no punk, say we want prenup. We want prenup. Yeah. You didn't do that type of stuff. You know, and then there's ways that then like when I'm learning this consumer law stuff, this tax law, all this type of stuff, there's ways to get around child support. I'm not saying that I'm for this. I'm ignorant in that topic. I've just seen it in my studies. You know, but I'm just like, y'all ain't moving right. You joined MGTOW, you joined semen retention, you joined the alpha male community, you joined all these things to make yourself a better person, and yet you're still harboring ideas of victimhood. And then when someone like me shows up and just tells you, hey bro, you just might want to switch that around, bro. You're focused on the 1 in 5, that means there's 4 out of 5. 80% are for the taking that don't match that prerequisite that disqualifies a woman in your eyes, in your head. Those words try to come out at the same time. In your head. Why aren't you focusing on the 4 or the 5? 50% of relationships start online. Okay, and be the part of the other 50% that start in real life. And then, like I said in the beginning, of those 50%, those women still walk around outside. You can catch them in real life. But yet, I know that there's someone that's going to sit here and defend it and say that, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. It's hard out here. Is it hard out here? Yes, but you are a man. Are you the hard one, pause, or the soft one? Fuck the pause. It's like, are you the hard one? You the one with the dick, right? You a man, right? Okay, life's supposed to be hard. Get over it. That's your job as a dude. Stop bitching. Women are the ones that are supposed to be created, are supposed to be cared for, are supposed to be soft and nurtured. Women want to be soft, but we think it's cool to be hard. Step into your frame. Stop bitching. Till the next one, bro.